Notre Dame is back in action this Saturday as they take on a historically bad Florida State Seminoles squad under the lights at college football's cathedral.
By Samardzija, inside the 20, inside the 10, he's going in! Notre Dame has scored!
Go! You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal!
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, 5-5 rocket touchdown!
Notre Dame is number one!
It's a game of who's going to flinch first. We know that it won't be Notre Dame.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Landon Traylor, joined by Dylan Kearns, John Richards, and Logan Traylor. It is good to be back after a bye week. We'll start with a Week 10 recapper. Ohio State knocks off Penn State and Happy Valley. They have won 12 games out of the last 13 matchups against Penn State University. The one win for Penn State was that famous blocked field goal that got them the win years and years ago. Oregon beats Michigan 38-17 in a not surprising victory. Georgia survives Florida with two fourth quarter touchdowns, 34-20. It was two very late fourth quarter touchdowns. Army would beat Air Force 20-3. They looked very ugly without their starting quarterback. However, they improved to 8-0. Northwestern beats Purdue 26-20 in overtime, as Purdue came back from a massive deficit and forced overtime and would ultimately lose the game. However, in typical Purdue fashion, they were booed off of their own home field yet again. You love to see it. Syracuse upsets Virginia Tech 38-31 in overtime in a thrilling matchup there. I thought Virginia Tech was on the rise a little bit. Turns out they were fugazi. Vanderbilt stuns Auburn inside of Jordan-Hare Stadium, 17-7 for the first time in school history. UCLA stuns Nebraska in Lincoln, 27-20. Oklahoma State loses its sixth straight ball game. Rice stuns Navy, 24-10, and hurts the Irish in the process. Iowa rolls Wisconsin, 42-10. Fickle getting tickled lately. Washington beats USC 26-21. USC back under 500 on the year. Tennessee survives at home 28-18 against Kentucky. South Carolina absolutely rolls Texas A&M 44-20. It was 20-20 at halftime. However, you just felt the entire game that South Carolina had a grip on that game. Texas Tech knocks off unbeaten Iowa State 23-22. Louisville handedly beats Clemson 33-21 inside of Death Valley. Houston upsets Kansas State 24-19. SMU blows out Pat Narduzzi and Pitt 48-25. Minnesota upsets Illinois 25-17. Row your boat, baby. Ole Miss puts up 63 points in a 32-point victory. Miami wins another shootout win at Arkansas, and the Hoosiers would score 47 unanswered points to dominate Michigan State 47-10 in East Lansing. So that's what happened in Week 10. A very thrilling Week 10 in college football. I hate that we didn't play, but I'm kind of glad we didn't play because I got to sit back and kind of enjoy it a little bit rather than being stressed. With that being said, number 10, Notre Dame returns to action after a bye week to face a 1-8 Florida State squad. Here's Bob Costas to take you back to a time where he went around Main Street.
When summer is finally forgotten, as daylight dwindles sooner each day, look around the corner, just beyond Main Street. Chances are, there's a game in a backyard. Children in the midst of imagining. Some with a notion, innocent but powerful. You eagerly followed your team, listening to that distant voice. You couldn't sleep after a victory. Couldn't wait till the day when it might be your time. And then that day arrived, that moment, that affirmation, when you were told you were special. And so you worked and you sacrificed, pointing toward that day in the fall when all of America would be watching you. watching your team. The kind of day dreamed of in a backyard just around the corner from Main Street. Here are the questions confronting number 1 Florida State. Are these to be the Seminoles who will at last run the full gauntlet of grueling competition and withering expectations? Is he to be Florida State's first Heisman winner? Is he to be, finally, a national champion? But between these hopes and their fulfillment, there is the myth, the stadium in South Bend, and history's team, Notre Dame.
Here come the Irish. 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 Here come the Irish.
11 national titles, 7 Heisman trophies. No other school has won as many championships. No other school has had as many All-Americans. And in their home, you also play against their past. Galloping shadows from 1924, echoes of legendary coaches. In South Bend, they've become accustomed to teams chasing championships. And now comes another, inspired by a tradition without equal. So here we are, perfect seasons at stake, a game in a perfect place, a collision for history. A school hoping to finally ascend to college football's summit. A school hoping to add to its already abundant legend. Number 1 Florida State and number 2 Notre Dame. The coming of a day dreamed of in backyards just around the corner from Main Street.
But Florida State went 13-1 last season. Well, this is one of the worst downfalls and collapses in all of college football history, quite frankly. They're averaging 14 points per game. They have yet to score over 21 points since they did against Georgia Tech in the opening game in week 0, and they lost 24-21. They're averaging 188 yards per game through the air and 76 yards per game on the ground. That is last in college football Division I. They have a -12 turnover ratio on the season as well. JR, FSU U is really, 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 really bad. Like, this is awful.
They are really bad. They've been really bad since they didn't know how to handle being butthurt at the end of the year. You know, I was going through my blue and gold trying to prep for FSU U a little bit, and I'm sitting here reading about it, and I'm going through it all, and I'm like, hell, you might as well just throw this thing away because they are absolutely nothing what they are supposed to be.
Right.
It's a 24-point spread now. I mean, you know, what they're 1-8. What's the game they won? They beat Memphis?
No, they beat Cal.
They beat Cal. Okay. Well, you know, last year at this time, big love fest. Lando was in love with Norvell, and now I'm worried that FSU U is going to come sniffing around Bloomington trying to poach my guy away. You know, I don't know how this game's going to play out for Florida State. I'm only concerned with how it's going to play out for us. We need to win emphatically all the way through, another 4-quarter dominant performance where we leave absolutely no doubt, strong convictions that we are one of the 12 that belong. Because I'm telling you right now, you guys, tonight when we see these rankings, you got to keep an eye on how these two-loss SEC teams are ranked, because that SEC propaganda machine is going to be running hard.
So Florida State would start off the year with a 24-21 loss against Georgia Tech in Dublin. They would lose to Boston College at home 28-13. Memphis would stun them at Doak Campbell 20-12. They would beat Cal 14-9. They were blown out at SMU 42-16. Lost at home to Clemson 29-13. Lost at Duke 23-16. Blown out against rival Miami 36-14. And last week, blown out by North Carolina at Doak Campbell Stadium, 35-11. Logan, is this the worst team on our schedule? There's been a few like Purdue, Stanford. Is this the worst team that we have played?
We lost to the worst team we played.
Right.
What do you think?
I agree. We lost to the worst team we played. They can't beat anybody in the MAC.
And I don't think it is even close. Now, Florida State, we talk about the adversity all the time and being able to handle it. I mean, like JR said, this has been a lingering problem. And it kind of makes you think, like, as a Notre Dame fan, as much as we sit here and have, some may say, unrealistic expectations, but high expectations, it feels for the majority of my fandom since 2012, we've been relevant, and it's been a consistent relevancy of competing and being 11-1 and 12-0 and 10-2. So from that standpoint, I think we are lucky in a way. Obviously, haven't seen a national championship, but at the same time, it just shows you what good programs look like and great program looks like. And then obviously there's elite programs with your Georgias and your Alabamas, but it's sad to see. I'm a big fan of college football in general. So when Florida State's bad, I feel like college football isn't in a great spot. And it shows you NIL. It shows you kind of some of the problems that, and like if you don't recruit, if you don't invest in your program, this is what can happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's where, it's weird to see Florida State 1-8. I don't know if we've ever seen it. Dylan, I don't know if we've ever seen this in our 24 years.
I don't know.
I know I haven't in my 20.
Yeah, so it's a little weird. You grow up, and I remember watching Jameis Winston and when they were really good, and I mean that was fun times, and that was when college football was at its peak of being really, really competitive, and it wasn't so top heavy as it is right now, in my opinion. So, like JR said, we need to go in, take care of business. Like every game that's left on our schedule, we should win by 21 plus, in my opinion. I mean, we see where USC's at. Obviously, we've talked about Florida State and have seen where they're at, but even teams like Virginia, teams like Army, we are Notre Dame. At some point, we need to take account of that and make sure that, our program, that message is getting across to everybody involved in that program. So just another week to continue to improve and continue to grow.
Absolutely. Dylan, this was supposed to be a premier matchup, if not the premier matchup on the schedule. Unfortunately, it just did not play out. And unfortunately, it is what it is, Dylan.
Yeah, I hate these pricks. I can't stand Florida State because you remember that bolt, like that freaking
yeah. I do.
Everyone knows the freaking pass, the push off or the pick play. Oh gosh, I freaking hate these pricks. So I'm just saying, this is a game. There comes times where you can just get sweet revenge. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes it takes a decade in this case. But there comes a time where you can truly get back at somebody. And you can just hang 30 on them. The line is 25 here, fellas. Woo! How about that? But yeah, to your credit, this was supposed to be 7:30 under the lights. This was one as a Notre Dame fan, those that are not ushers or season ticket holders or anything else. You circle. Ooh, maybe we could go to that game. That game sticks out. This is a USC under the lights, a Stanford under the lights. This is a Florida State under the lights at home off a bye in November. This is a game you circle and say, man, I hope I have enough money to go to that one. Well, now you can get in for $70 because Florida State sucks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to our credit, that's good for us. Should be another win in the books. But at the same time, this was a game that should have been a deciding factor in where our season goes in terms of playoff, in terms of bowl games, where we could end up. Now, thanks to Florida State's inability and incompetence to play good football at all this year, it makes our schedule look worse because now we have to play them under the lights in a game with us off a bye. I mean, we're going to beat the living hell out of them.
I mean, we should.
Lane and I were talking about this. This could actually hurt Notre Dame due to the fact that we do have a lot of Indiana Hoosiers that are loving what they're doing right now. Obviously, basketball, IU basketball, Notre Dame football, a lot of those people may choose just to go to the IU Michigan game instead of making the trip up to South Bend.
Yeah, those reverse sweatshirt fans.
Yeah.
So the last time we came off of a bye week, we started off really slow. I do remember we trailed to Stanford very early in that game. However, we ended up taking absolute control and beating the living crap out of Stanford. I really hope we don't start off slow again because I'm tired of seeing that. I want a fast start just like we did against Navy. March down the field and score. Florida State leads the all-time series 6-5. 1991 was the very first meeting at Notre Dame Stadium, and the Seminoles won it 19-13. In 1993, the famous game of the century, number 1 Florida State versus number 2 Notre Dame, and the Irish win it 31-24.
Slot to the right, slot to the left. Dunn in the backfield with Ward. Last play of the game. This is it. Ward flushed out of the pocket. Throwing in the end zone. Knocked down by Wooden. The game is over. The Irish is upset. Florida State. Notre Dame wins. Pandemonium on the field. 31-24. Notre Dame is number 1.
In 1994, Florida State would win it 23-16 in a neutral setting in Orlando. In the 1996 Orange Bowl, Free Shoe U won it 31-26. In 2002 at Doak Campbell Stadium, Notre Dame would win it 34-24. And in 2003, Florida State would roll into Notre Dame Stadium and walk out with a 37-0 victory over the Irish. In 2011, the Champs Sports Bowl, Free Shoe U won it 18-14.
2nd and 7. Freeman remains the back with Manuel. Plenty of time to the end zone. Caught for the score.
Wow, what a catch.
Rashad Green. 1st and 20 after the call. To the end zone. Intercepted. Terrence Brooks picks off Tommy Reese.
In 2014 at Florida State, number 2 Florida State and number 5 Notre Dame, the Seminoles would win it 31-27 on a rushing touchdown into the end zone late in the 4th quarter, and then the infamous offensive pass interference on the Irish.
Mario in there again on 2nd and go. Williams hammers forward, and for the first time the Noles lead. Golson rolls, fires, touchdown! A flag is down, hold on. There's a flag on the field.
They might call an offensive pick here. Instead of a rub, it might have been offensive interference with a pick.
Pass interference on the offense. Number 7, 15-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
The Robinson touchdown taken off the board. They flag.
In 2018 at Notre Dame, Dylan Sett talked about revenge. Dylan, I hate to step on your toes, but we've gotten our revenge here quite a bit here. We've really kicked them around a couple times. In 2018, the Irish would win it 42-13 in green jerseys at home.
2nd and 8, and Francois' pass is intercepted off the deflection. It's Nick Coleman inside the 10. 1st and goal, Irish at the 4. Akers runs it in for the touchdown. Extra point is blocked, and it's picked up. On the run is Julian Love. And this will be 2 for the Irish. And that's Florida State's season in a nutshell. First down, inside handoff. Williams up the middle. There goes Dexter Williams. Notre Dame touchdown.
That left side.
12th run on this drive. Doing it on the ground. Doing it with Williams. Notre Dame touchdown. 2 for Dexter.
In 2020 at Notre Dame, it was 42-26 Notre Dame.
Completion percentage was 75, 78%, always very high. Williams left. Oh, he's got space. He's got lead blockers. He may take this the distance. Williams got again. Notre Dame touchdown. Downfield blocking as well. Tyree inside. Give big run. Tyree with speed. Gone. Touchdown Notre Dame.
I believe what that play was, Mike.
No, I do.
And the last time they would meet in 2021, the season opener on a Sunday night, Notre Dame won it 41-38.
Cones a pass on 4th and 1. Wide open, complete. Mayer striding into the end zone. What a start for the Irish.
Second quarter, 2nd and 14. Jordan Travis. Travis stumbling. Ball comes out there. They're saying that's a live ball. Notre Dame's Foskey scoops it and returns it. In. 3rd and 1. Cones a pass on 3rd and 1. He's going to go deep. And into the hands of Austin for a touchdown. Back and forth we go and tap.
Play behind the sticks against a defense like this.
Picked up the pressure from the middle linebacker White.
Downfield and Hamilton again coming over from that safety position and making the interception. Does Dorr have the look of the Irish? He does. Great way to start the season.
8 in over.
That Cone, right?
Jack Cone, baby. One of my
that feels like 10 years ago.
Florida State is a very underrated rivalry, if I will. If I could throw that word rivalry out. This gets heated. It used to be heated, especially in the 90s. And then when I was growing up, early childhood, about 10 years old, obviously, it was pretty intense when they played in 2014. So, JR, you have experienced a lot of Florida State games against Notre Dame. Were you at the game of the century? If you were, tell us a little bit about it. Were you?
I was not.
Catholics versus convicts is what you were at then, right?
The Catholics versus convicts, but I was at the Boston College game the following week.
Right, that's right. Now, you mentioned it a lot. Florida State, you would say, stole our title in 1993. So that's just adds to the fire of this rivalry.
100%. Yeah, if you use a lot of the logic that was followed back in those days when there was really no BCS or playoff or anything, you know, a lot of head-to-head was involved, and we had won the head-to-head. We had wins against tons of ranked teams, including, I think, a 5th-ranked A&M team in the Cotton Bowl. But they gave one to Bobby Bowden. He got one on us.
Now, JR,
FSU was born. Now, one thing I do remember, they were big favorites going into that game in 93. They were a touchdown favorite. Notre Dame was a touchdown underdog. And boy, we got out to a fast start. I think it was 21-7 after the first quarter.
Yeah, I remember Florida State. Obviously, I've watched the entirety of the game. I wasn't alive, but we did get off to a thumping start. The place was rocking, and we've really fed off of the stadium's energy. But Florida State, they came storming back in that second half and really made it a ball game. But the Irish will prevail. Is 1993 the sole reason you hate Florida State so much?
Hate's a strong word for Free Shoe U relative to some of the other programs we play. I think it is a nice matchup. I'm not so sure. Myself, I'm a little older than you guys, obviously. I don't know if I would call it a rivalry in a traditional sense with some of the other schools that we play. But there's certainly enough history between the two schools dating back 30 years that, you know, was a fairly significant storyline leading into the season. But you know, this just goes to show that we think that we know what the schedule is going to look like every year. In reality, we don't.
Right.
And who would have thought Free Shoe U would be the crappiest game on our schedule, and arguably Army is the most important? Like, what?
Right. So you can throw Florida State in the category of Miami, in my opinion, of rivals. The rivals. We're not really technically a rival, but I don't know. There's been some hostilities.
Miami, I would call a rivalry.
Really?
I don't know if I would.
Interesting.
I don't like to use the word hate a lot, but Notre Dame and Miami, there's hatred. There's just flat out hatred there.
They have to end the series because of how bad it got.
Yes.
Buses and stuff, right? I believe something with the buses. Miami blew out a bus. Go ahead, Dylan.
I want to don't want to backtrack here. Jack Cohn was a great quarterback for us. Like, I know I roasted the guy, but I was curious because I haven't heard the name Jack Cohn in several years. This guy went 25 TDs, 7 picks, only lost to Cincinnati. He was a damn good quarterback for us. One of the most underrated transfers we've had.
Is he in the league?
What's that?
Is he in the league? The NFL, the National Football League.
He is in the Canadian Football League. He got 1 start for the Saskatchewan Roughriders last year. Last game of the season, 100 yards and a touchdown.
He's up there playing football with Ricky, Julian, Bubbles, Leahy, and Randy. Good for Jack Cohn. All right, we'll move along here. We'll move along here to the keys to the game. Here we'll start with JR as usual. Move to Logan and switch it to Dylan.
What was the question? Sorry.
Our 3 keys.
Where does Jack Cohn rank?
I'm going to continue to say lean on Love. Continue to develop the passing game again. I think Riley Leonard's arm's been looking pretty good. And defensively, this isn't one of those games where, if we're going to make a statement, we can't do it with our offense because of how we've looked all season long. We need to be viewed as, man, that defense, that's a national championship contending defense. And that's what is going to put us in the playoffs. So I'm going to say I need like a shutout here. 38-0. Get your ass on the bus and get back to Florida because, I think our defense is what's going to win us a national championship, quite frankly, if we're going to get there. So, we're a little banged up. We're a little bit thin, but I like the way we're playing. We're playing pretty aggressive. We're playing very fast, aggressive, kind of turbulent. 27's flying all over the place with his hair, kind of like our buddy Maris last year. I like that. I like that. We need more of it. Let's let them carry the beacon.
Yeah, Logan.
First and foremost, stay healthy. I think that's going to be a bigger priority as we continue to go throughout this year. Continue to improve the pass game. Would love to see Riley be able to still continue to build confidence, but also take care of it. Obviously, it's gotten a lot better since, the earlier start in the year. Defensively, kind of on what JR said, continue to be ball hawks defensively. I mean, I think Navy put the ball on the ground 6 times last week. We recovered 5 out of the 6. So that's usually a good sign that 1, you're playing hard, but 2, we're in the right positions. So just to continue to build on what we've been improving on and what we need to improve on to be able to contend.
Dylan?
Logan kind of took my words about the health. That's going to be my number 1 too. You got to stay healthy in this game because, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. And this is a team that you can't afford more injuries to because we're already depleted a little bit on this, especially on the defensive side. I think this could definitely be a game where you stand up and do those things. I'm not worried about the pass game because I told you guys last week that, look, we're coming together. We have found it. I'm not worried about that in the slightest. But I will say this, my second key of the game, get Mitchell Evans involved. Get the tight ends going. He was the top tight end in the country.
Very quiet.
Yeah, and he's been quiet. I don't know if that's a Denbrock thing. I don't know what it is. But he is one of the most elite weapons on the outside that we have that we can throw the ball to. And it seems like he hadn't done anything all year. So hopefully they took this bye week and found ways to scheme up their best offensive weapon that has barely touched the ball this year. So hopefully they got that going. I'd like to see him have a monster game over 100. And then on the other side, I want to see the defense come out and shut somebody out. I think that gives confidence to the players that, those that are stepping in, like, hey, we just shut down, albeit a Florida State team that can't score more than 21 points. But at the same time, like, hey, if you come out there and shut down a team like that, you'll find confidence going into these final few games. And I think a win like that, a shutout win here, would definitely help them when it comes to going to Southern Cal late in the year.
Yeah, very, very accurate there. My keys to the game, if I may, start fast. Don't give Norvell a reason to hang around. I do think he's a great coach, so don't give him a reason to hang around there. Ground and pound, baby. Run the damn ball. They have an awful run defense. Let's shred them. Let's just get 4. Let's get Jeremiah Love 4 touchdowns. Let's get 4-4. And lastly, pressure the quarterback. They have an abysmal offensive line. I think if we can just bully our way to the quarterback, they're going to have a lot of fumbles when they drop back to pass. I think they will turn the ball over a lot. Overall, I think we will dominate this game. The weather report as of Tuesday morning, 61 degrees is the high. The low is 48. The wind gusts will be 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. There is a chance of rain, a 65% chance of rain, a quarter of an inch is what they are calling for in South Bend on Saturday. Welcome to Indiana, Free Shoe U. All right, we'll move along to the picks. It is week 11. I cannot believe how fast this year is going. The standings are as follows. In first place is Landon Traylor, who is me, 193-50. JR and Logan are tied for second place at 188-55, and Dylan Kearns is in good old last place, 171-72. He's getting pretty close to being eliminated here really soon in a couple weeks.
This is a GDR record for worst going. So
yeah, no kidding.
Hopefully someone tops me next year. But yeah, one thing before you get in the picks, you talk about how fast this year is going. It's going faster than your high school prom night. I mean, it's zipping by.
I knew that was coming. You've dropped that line before, too. We will move along to the picks, the rankings. However, I will say this disclaimer. We do our show previews on Tuesday mornings due to our schedules. Unfortunately, we still got to use our rankings from the AP poll. It is irrelevant. I hate the AP poll. They are irrelevant, but unfortunately, it is all we will be basing our rankings off of. It has nothing to do with the college ball playoff. So with that being said, our prison inmate games of the week, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them this week.
Oh my gosh.
California at Wake Forest. Friday.
What the hell are you doing?
California.
He wins them all.
No, I don't.
Prison inmates.
Last week I lost the prison inmate. California at Wake, Friday night, 8 p.m. on the ACC network. I've actually lost the last 2 prison inmates.
Well, this is a pretty bad game.
Hey, thank you. See, JR is on my side here. This is the definition of prison inmate games.
Yeah, I don't.
Line.
God, what did I even
Cal
have?
-7.
Even have a line for this game.
I'll take Cal, I guess. I mean, I don't know though.
Give me Cal.
So, fellas, I'm changing it up here. My whole entire season, I've gone and looked at the lines and the rankings. It hasn't worked. So I'm not looking at that right now. I'm going to go with heart. And my heart tells me Cal, despite the travel from the West Coast to the East Coast, is a short week, correct?
Yeah.
Short week. That's too many points to give a road dog. Go ahead and give me Cal.
Yes. I like California this game. Wake Forest beat UConn by 3, 23-20. Give me the BS. Iowa at UCLA, Friday night, 9 p.m. on Fox.
JR 6.5, Iowa.
Yeah, did UCLA hold on last week?
Yes.
Yeah, they beat Nebraska.
Raiola hurt though, right?
Yeah, he didn't play. Give me Iowa.
Iowa.
You said this game's at UCLA, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Give me the Bruins.
Iowa's playing really good football as of late. I like the Hawkeyes in this ball game. Big. big. New Mexico at San Diego State. Big game in the Mountain West. This is Friday night, 10:30 p.m. on FS1.
It's awful.
Line.
San Diego State -3.
He said line like he's
As New Mexico, how many times has New Mexico been prison inmate?
3.
Now at least once
They
before.
played 9 games. They've probably been 25% of their games probably in prison.
New Mexico State, a prison inmate game earlier in the year.
They were both winless at the time, I believe.
Can we get Georgia Southern into one of those?
We'll have to see. Hey, we'll just hold your britches.
The Aztecs.
You are a dick.
Me?
Yes, you are a dick.
Why am I a dick?
This is just awful. We could have been fine with California and Iowa games, but now we got to do
No,
this.
you're going to love the next one. It's okay. Go ahead. Make your pick.
What JR go with?
SDSU.
Yeah, just going to trail him.
Choo-choo on the caboose. San Diego State.
Yeah, I'm going with the basketball school, San Diego State Aztecs as well. Last prison inmate game of the week. Kennesaw State 1-7 at UTEP 1-8.
Oh, that is it. That's the worst one all year.
This should
have this on ESPN.
This should be the sole and only prison inmate game. This is like federal maximum security.
Let me rephrase this. This is the Diddy game of the week.
Kennesaw State, though, they upset who?
Liberty.
Liberty.
This is 3.5 UTEP.
So, fun little fact, I think, here. I believe IU's president was Kennesaw State's old university president. I'm not sure about that, but I know she's a huge football fan, and when she arrived at IU, it was a top priority of hers to really put IU football on the map. Give me Kennesaw State.
Ooh.
Give me UTEP.
Wow.
Where is this at?
UTEP. In once, what's the song, JR? I'm in the town.
Down in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell with a Mexican girl.
Give me the home of the Chihuahuas.
What?
El Paso.
Oh, okay. I'm rolling with UTEP as well. Non-ranked games of the week. Syracuse at Boston College. Nooner on the CW network.
That's a ball game, boys.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent game. Cuse come back last week to beat Va Tech. Did they win that game in overtime?
38-31.
They were down big.
Yep.
They were down big too, right?
Yes.
McCord, that's Dylan's guy for Notre Dame next year.
And that's Dylan's boy.
What's the line here?
2. Boston.
For who? BC?
Your boy.
What day is this game? Is this a Thursday or
Saturday, Nooner, CW network.
Give me BC.
God dang it. I'm taking the Eagles as well.
I was thinking that too. There's some games where, McCord really he shrivels up like a weenie in a hot tub. And I think this is a game where he shrinks. So we're gonna go with BC.
Thank you. I disagree. Give me the orange on the road in Chestnut Hill. Give me the orange.
You're going with the broadcasters.
Yes,
We need that one, JR.
Our broadcasters, as a family, we got to stick together, and I'm sticking with the Orangemen. All right, we'll move along here. We have Duke at North Carolina State, 3:30 p.m. on the ACC network. Both of these squads kind of on the rise a little bit. A win here would help them drastically.
Duke at NC State.
Yeah.
NC State -3.
Good game. It's sneaky good one in the ACC.
Duke looked decent for 3 quarters last week. Can they carry that into NC State?
Miami's a hard team to grasp.
They're fugazi. They're fugazi.
Take that 53-31 loss with a grain of salt there for Dukies.
Yeah, I think Miami's Fugazi. They have a nice quarterback, but other than that, they got some problems. Give me the Wolfpack, Dave Doran.
I'm going to take the Wolfpack as well.
Give me Duke. They're on fire. They're playing well.
Yeah, Manny Diaz really has these Blue Devils playing really, really well. I like this Duke team this year, especially with how they lost a lot with Elko leaving. For him to step into a program like Duke and be 6-3 and 2-3 the ACC, not too shabby. I'm going with the Wolfpack though at home. I don't think Duke will win this one on the road. That's back-to-back road games. UCF at Arizona State, 7 p.m. on ESPN2. Gus Bus and the email me if you need a kicker guy.
Yeah, give me the Sun Devils.
Arizona State.
Arizona State.
I love the Big 12 this year. I just want to say that. Give me the Sun Devils with that being
Hold
said.
on. While we're on the kickers, our kicker's healthy, correct?
I believe he was on the 2 deep.
Mitch Jeter?
Yeah, with the 2 deep depth chart that I saw on Twitter yesterday from Pete Sampson, it is. He is listed. With that being said, sometimes Notre Dame's PR team on the game day will put out a tweet saying, listed on the depth chart. However, he's out. So we'll just have to see. With that being said, Oklahoma at Missouri, 7:45 of the SEC Network. Both of these teams' seasons, quite frankly, are in shambles at this juncture.
Mobile Homa's way worse off than Missouri. Missouri's got at least some
hope
behind it. Yeah. They got 2 losses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give me Mizzou.
They total 65 points all year.
Yeah, both on the road. Their quarterback's really banged up. You guys,
Drew Pine.
Guys, it's amazing that we had the season that we did with Drew Pine.
I know.
Isn't it? I mean, we should have been 6 that year at best.
I know.
Coaching.
Yeah, BK, he had it his way.
That was
that Freeman?
That was Freeman's first year.
Freeman's first year?
Pine played a little bit in Kelly's last year because Cone was dealing with some injuries, but yeah.
It was Freeman's first year.
Yeah.
Pine.
Wow.
Went with Buckner.
Wait.
Buckner got hurt against
Buckner
Marshall.
started.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt against Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to relive that.
Missouri.
Yeah, I knew that. Drink. Nice haircut, Frenchie.
Thank you.
Give me
late into the episode to be seeing that.
I got them all cut.
He just turned his head.
Oof. Who's Missouri playing again? Sorry, we got distracted.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, give me Mobile Homa.
Oh, Jesus.
On the road?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me the Missouri Tigers big in this one. Missouri 1.5 is the line. That's free money from Vegas. That's free money from Vegas, in my opinion.
Isn't Pine starting?
He probably is because the other guy got banged up against Alabama, I believe.
Cook has been really banged up.
Yeah, poor guy. All right, that does it for the non-ranked games. We'll move along here. Purdue at number 3, Ohio State, 12 p.m. on Fox. That is our head nod pick of the week. OHIO. I got to see the spread on this.
37.5.
30s.
What is it?
37.5.
Yeah, you could group both of these schools for prison inmate. I don't care.
Oh my God. 37.5 in a conference game. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, let me just say this about Zero State. If they weren't Zero State and Buckeyes and Scarlet and Gray and all that crap, kind of the inverse of IU, look at their schedule. Garbage.
Played the number 1 team there, Frenchie.
They had
because it's an in-conference game, but don't be talking about IU's schedule being garbage and saying Ohio State's is something fancy. They're garbage.
Both of their non-conference schedules were probably 2 of the worst that I've seen this season. Michigan's up there, or not Michigan. No, I can't think of it. But number 4, Miami at Georgia Tech, 12 p.m. on ESPN. Excuse me.
I'm telling you, someone's going to trip Miami up. They're close.
Is it going to be Tech?
I don't know. Do they have
Ramblin' Wreck? Yeesh. That is the $1,000,000 question.
Well, what's the line? Line will tell you.
Line is
Minus 11.
He's not back, I would guess. This is at Georgia Tech?
Yes.
Screw it. You need to gain some points here. Screw it.
Landon tried to lure you
Too
in.
much Cam Ward. Give me the Convicts.
I'll take Miami.
Yeah, give me the U.
Listen, they might be Fugazi, but their offense is not Fugazi. Give me Miami in this one. Florida at number 5, Texas at 12 p.m. on the ABC. Florida competed very well last week against Georgia. Should have won the game, honestly, if they had a little bit better coach in that situation.
Yeah, Florida, they're in a tough spot. Are they doing just enough to keep that guy when they're kind of hovering and middle
Third
of
string
the road?
quarterback.
I mean, they're
down to their third string quarterback.
Yeah, give me Texas. Look at them too. They're not as good as everybody thought. They were the big powerhouse. No.
Right.
You know what pisses me off?
You know what grinds my gears?
You know what really grinds my gears? Frickin' Florida. Dude, like if they just had a competent coach, they probably escaped. Like they were locked in a game, like 2 straight games. They played Penn State, correct?
Mm-mm.
Or who was it? No, who was it that they played someone really close and then they lost because their coach. And then the same thing happened last week. They were playing Georgia really well, and then they fell off the tracks because Napier doesn't know what he's doing.
Lost in overtime to Tennessee.
I can't pick them.
Road. Lost to Tennessee.
That's what it was.
Overtime.
Tennessee, not Penn. I knew it wasn't Penn State. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, Tennessee, they were playing them well, and then the coach finds a way to lose. Napier sucks. He should be in the MAC next year. Give me the Longhornies.
Oof. Texas minus 21.5. Give me the Longhorns. I think Florida covers in this one. Number 2, Georgia at number 16, Ole Miss, 3:30 p.m. on ABC. Elimination game for Ole Miss.
Yeah, here come the separator games in the SEC.
2.5, Georgia. JR.
This is at Georgia?
This is at Ole Miss.
In Oxford. Vaught Hemingway Stadium, I believe.
Man, if Ole Miss wins this game, this
trouble.
puts they're going to be a boatload of two loss SEC teams jockeying for position. I'm going to go Georgia. I think they were probably playing a little reserved last week in preparation for this. Give me up.
Lane
Train. Wow.
Lane Train and Kirby going at it.
I know I'm not looking at lines no more, but take a look at this, fellas. Let me focus it. You see the minus 2.5, correct?
Yeah.
Now look when you click on it. Who's projected to win the game? Ole Miss. Make that make sense. Give me Ole Mississippi.
Logan, who you rolling with?
I want to go Georgia.
All right.
We kind of need Georgia.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We need Georgia a lot.
Because it eliminates Ole Miss. Guaranteed Ole Miss is.
You know who we also need is BK. Have it your way this week. We need him.
Well, one of those teams are the loser of that game's done.
Yeah, but
three losses.
But LSU also has a tough schedule coming forward. They could drop another game outside of Alabama, so it would be easier for them to beat.
Oh, so you're saying, yeah, I see. You eliminate 2 of them.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I am going.
This got to be.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Okay, sorry. This has to be Brian Kelly's hardest schedule anywhere.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, he's played some It's the SEC, though. Welcome to it, bud. I am rolling with Lane Train at home. Jackson Dart playing his ass off ever since he lost. Give me the Rebels. Give me the Rebels at home.
Must-win spot. Oh, hold on.
No, 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 no. You picked it. You picked it. You're locked in, bud. No, bud, you're locked in. You're locked in. Once you say it, you're
might
locked
have to have a sit-down conversation here
You're
after this.
ride with me, dude. We got BC and Georgia. We're gonna gain 2 on them here.
All right, we'll still stay. We'll stay.
Stay with me, coach.
It's like we're doing blackjack. I got 11. I want to double that mother.
Michigan. Michigan at number 8, Indiana, 3:30 p.m. on CBS.
They are currently the best college football team against the spread. I add that in.
-4.
If I had a heater, down here, I might fire it up and pick Signetti. But I'm in my basement and I won't do that. I got kids running around the house and be like, "What the hell's Daddy doing?" IU and IU to cover. My man don't care about nothing. He gonna pour it on. 40-10. He looks like he's losing 50-0. I love it.
Gonna ride it out. Give me the Hoosiers.
Washington beat Michigan. IU whooped Washington. IU's going to whip Michigan. IU's rolling into Ohio State as a top 6 team next week.
Look at you. Finally, you've picked against IU for the third straight week last week.
Yeah, he picked Washington. So
he picked MSU, he picked Washington, and he picked the team before that as well to beat IU.
Nebraska.
Listen. I'm on it. I'm on it, baby. I'm on it. I'm on it, man. I love him. He's a hell of a dude, hell of a guy, hell of a coach. Give me the Hoosiers. I think Michigan keeps it close, though. Number 17, Iowa State at Kansas. 3:30 p.m. on FS1. A sneaky, tricky game in the Big 12. Kansas is 3-point dogs.
Classic Iowa State.
Right.
Classic
Campbell.
Last week. Yeah. You know, for as much love as that guy gets, he's responsible for at least one of those duds every year that he should not lose. I'm going to pick them, though, here. Kansas, they're kind of coming along. They're a little bit better, but I'm not going to pick Kansas.
Give me Iowa State.
Iowa State.
I'm rolling with the Cyclones here as well. I think they bounce back in a big way. Number 18, Army at North Texas, 3:30 p.m. on ESPN2. Army is favored by 5.5 on the road, which tells me their quarterback is still injured. Watch out in this one.
Yeah, North Texas, they're not bad. Boy, if Army doesn't have their starting quarterback, what are they going to do? Give me Army.
Army.
I'm going to go North Texas.
Dang it. I'm going North Texas as well. I don't trust Army against a good opponent without their starting quarterback, and I'm going with the mean green of North Texas. I told you, Logan.
I think we're going to get...
Logan, I told you in the car yesterday, this is a tricky game. This is a tricky week, and this is the week I think you and JR get me because I've taken a lot of...
Or you separate.
Or you just close the deal this week.
Maybe I'll smoke a little victory cig of my own. Number 19, Clemson at Virginia Tech, 3:30 p.m. on ESPN. Woo! Clemson, baby. BYOG yet again. Whew.
Yeah, they're back to Clemsoning.
Yeah, Clemens.
I don't want to say I'm rooting for Dabo, but Dabo, I can't even believe I'm going to say this. He seems to be one of the cleaner and more upstanding head coaches left in this wild, wild west NCAA that we have, and I was kind of pulling for them because I do not like Louisville.
At a standpoint, yeah, but you got to adapt to the game.
Yeah, no. Well, listen, nobody was saying it was a problem going into that game. They were ranked what? They had one loss against Georgia, and they were winning fairly convincingly. So
they were number 9.
I don't know. Was last week's result a byproduct of him not adapting because of the portal? I don't think so. But they might have some issues again. They're back to people questioning them.
Right.
What's the line?
6.5.
Give me Clemson to rebound.
Give me Clemson.
Yeah, right when I was so high on them, I
You
thought
ruined it.
I was going all in. It's all right, they'll bounce back. Give me those Moffas.
You Dylan'd it. I like Clemson to bounce back in this one handedly. Virginia Tech 5-4 on the season now. Not really much to play for except beating Virginia maybe. Number 21 Colorado at Texas Tech, 4 p.m. on Fox. Big game in the Big 12 Conference, folks.
Colorado's going to Texas Tech.
Correct. This is a massive game. If Colorado wins this, they take sole possession of second place in the conference, if I'm correct.
Give me
this 3.5, Colorado.
Colorado coming off of bye. Texas Tech could be in a letdown spot.
Right.
Or they could
could
keep on partying. Dude, they got a nasty offense.
But so does Colorado.
They do. Give me prime time. Give me Shador and Trap coming off a bye.
On the road.
I do not trust Colorado, even if they are ranked. They're 6-2. One of those losses happens to be against Nebraska, right?
Yes.
Yep. And Texas Tech with a high-powered offense. They have a better defense. Give me the Red Raiders.
Wow. You guys are crazy. Give me Colorado.
The over-under in this game is 62.5. Unbelievable. Give me Texas Tech at home. The Red Raiders. I don't trust primetime in a big-time game like this. Give me Red Raiders. If he was playing, maybe, but I don't trust him with the headset on.
Sorry, JR.
Yeah.
Okay, I would agree with you if the spot were slightly different for Texas Tech.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree. You're right to pick Colorado. They'll probably win this game. South Carolina at number 24 Vanderbilt, 4:15 of the SEC Network. An underrated game this week.
Really underrated game. Man, that place was rocking last week. Man, I didn't realize that was that intimidating of an atmosphere. I mean, it was a good game too, 20-20, and then whoop, they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Line.
Unfortunate they ran out of gas. 3.5.
3.5, South Carolina.
It's a good game. Give me South Carolina.
Bandy.
There's only one place in the world where you can hold a cock and still feel a bunch of people storm the field, and that's South Carolina. So go ahead and give me the Gamecocks.
I'm going with the real USC as well. Give me South Carolina and Coach Beamer to beat Vanderbilt.
I'm alone here. Wow.
Owner. He has a loner. All right. Maryland at number 1 Oregon, 7 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Another head nodder here. Oregon minus 25. Another outrageous line for a conference game. Here's perhaps another one, maybe, but the way they've been playing as of late, besides the Alabama game, has not impressed me. Mississippi State at number 7, Tennessee, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Head nodder? Okay. All right. Number 11, Alabama. At number 14, LSU, 7:30 p.m. on ABC.
Line.
3, Alabama.
It's like line, scalpel,
I know.
light, shalom, yeah,
Hello.
I think we're seeing the beginning of the end of the Bama dynasty.
I would
not that LSU is some burgeoning dynasty itself. I'm gonna go BK, have it my way at home.
BK.
I agree. I mean, this is the time where you do it, and he's going to get him for the second year in a row.
second time at LSU. He lost last year.
Oh, last year. That's right. But second time.
Yeah, second time. This would be back-to-back times at LSU. I think he does it again here. Give me Brian Kelly at home. This has to eliminate Alabama. It has to. 3 losses.
Whoever loses is eliminated.
Right. It has to eliminate somebody. All right, Washington at number 6, Penn State, 8 p.m. on Peacock. I would normally make this a head nodder, but Penn State looked awful last week. Awful. Will they fold?
Yeah, now it's like they have a bigger problem as soon as they step outside of their locker room. So that's either, even their own fans are against them. So it's either going to bring them together, it's going to totally rip them apart. I like Washington's D. I like Belichick there. What's the line?
13 and
a half.
Oh, that's way too many. I'm going to take Tickle Me Sandusky to rebound. Washington, decent win coming all the way back. But don't be surprised if they do fold, like Lando said.
Give me the Franklin boys.
Yeah, it's a Penn State win.
Yeah, getting booed off your own field after losing to a top 5 team by 7, that hurts, probably. And now they got to deal with all the noise about James Franklin and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I think Penn State wins this game, but I don't think it's pretty, and I think there's some boo birds that come out in this game as well. Give me the Nittany Lions, though. They got some issues. Nevada at number 12, Boise State, 8 p.m. on Fox. We're moving along here. Virginia at number 23, Pitt, 8 p.m. on the ACC network. Pitt coming off of an embarrassment of a game at SMU.
We knew it was only a matter of time for the same thing to happen to Pitt that's going to happen to some of these other, like Iowa State. I'll go Narduzzi to rebound. Uncle Pat, Lando's favorite uncle.
Give me Pitt.
Yeah, we'll go Pitt.
Eat shit, Pitt. Give me the Cavaliers on the road. I like the Cavs on the road. Number 9, BYU at Utah, 10:15 on ESPN. A rivalry renewed for the first time in a while here.
4, JR. 4.
Boy, that's a weird line because Utah is a shell of themselves. Rumor has it Whittingham is going to call it quits. He's going to retire. This could be the last holy war for him. I imagine that's probably why it's not higher. I feel like BYU's going to slip up somewhere along the way too. Give me the Mormons here. I don't want to go straight too far off the path. Got to stay close. Lando.
Dylan, we got to go here. We're running out of time.
Yeah, we'll go Utah.
Oh, Utah?
Yeah.
Utah in the upset. Wow, that definitely eliminates BYU if they lose to Utah. I don't think it happens, though. Give me the Mormons. Another head nodder here. Utah State at number 20, Washington State, 10:30 p.m. on the CW network. We're all going with Wazoo. College basketball is underway, and we have to pick the best games of the week from now on. Number 9, North Carolina at number 1, Kansas, Friday at 7 p.m. on ESPN2.
Is this a neutral site game or is this a true home game?
True home game at Allen Fieldhouse.
And are these getting counted?
Yes.
What the hell?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, we cannot.
Okay. I won't count it. I won't count it.
Yeah, I'll take it here.
Give me North Carolina.
Who you taking, JR? I didn't hear you.
Rock Chalk.
Yeah.
Jayhawks.
Give me North Carolina.
Ooh. Wow.
Good games last night.
Yeah. They
How
were
about the Buckeyes?
You see Fuse kid get dunked on?
Yeah. Awful. Give me Kansas in this one. Number 12, Tennessee at Louisville, Saturday, 12 p.m. on the ACC Network.
Tennessee.
Oh, wow, yeah. Give me the Tennessee Volunteers. Number 8, Baylor versus number 16, Arkansas, Saturday night, 7:30 on ESPNU. Welcome to Arkansas, Coach Cal.
So, Baylor played last night, right?
Yes. This game is in Dallas, by the way.
And they got drilled or they drilled?
They got throttled by nearly 40.
By Gonzaga?
Gonzaga.
Give me Baylor.
Ooh.
Arkansas.
Give me the Baylor Bears to bounce back. I like Coach Scott Drew. Last basketball game of the week, number 11 Auburn at number 4 Houston, 9:30 p.m. on ESPNU Saturday night.
This is a head nod. Sampson is going to stick it to good old Pearl. Good old buddy Bruce.
Great game.
This is going to be a war.
Oh, yeah.
This might be a football game.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Give me Houston.
Yeah, taking Houston.
I'll take Houston.
Give me Kelvin Sampson and the Cougars. IU messed up on that one. Florida State at number 10, Notre Dame, 7:30 p.m. on NBC.
Short and sweet. Free shoe you better go shopping again. Notre Dame 48, Florida State -3.
Is that a missed field goal and a shutout? Is that what we're counting as -3?
That's just because I despise them for stealing our national championship.
Got it.
I have Notre Dame 45, Florida State 6.
Dang it. 41-3. 41-3. Yeah, I was along the line there.
41-3. I like Florida State in this ball game. I'm joking. Give me Notre Dame 45-0 in their first shutout of the season. This is the game to get a shutout. If there's ever a game to get a shutout, I think it's this one of the year. Give me Notre Dame 45-0. Only night game of the year here for the Irish in South Bend this season. It's 7:30 p.m. Saturday night on NBC. Could be a little rainy. We'll be back on Monday to recap it. Until then, go Irish.